Hey guys, it's 681 Shadow. Welcome to my anime review for Mob Psycho 100. Now, before I get into my usual review stuff, I just want to say that for those of you who are watching this currently, if you haven't already, and for those of you who are watching in the future, then this won't apply. But if you have not left me questions for my 50, I mean not 50, 100 subscriber special, link to the video to post your questions will be in the description below. Make sure to do that. It's really a great milestone for me. And now to get on to the review. So I'll put a timestamp on the video here to say when I start talking spoilers for the anime Mob Psycho 100, since it is a review, so there definitely will be spoilers. So Mob Psycho 100, um, well one, well really it's a action comedy type anime where the main character has psychic powers and he has some trouble controlling them, along with his emotions and everything like that. And if you want another turn on from it, because of course I'm really I really like actiony animes, and comedies are really fun to watch. But another thing to reel you into that is that this anime was written by the same person who wrote One Punch Man. So if you thought One Punch Man was good, then definitely give this one a shot. It's a great anime. It would definitely will not disappoint you. The I'm actually recording this review just a day after the finale, and I think it should be up on the same day. So, it's really about it for that, and I'm kind of just like kind of stuttering a bit because the finale was really hyped up for us all, and you'll only know if you watch through the anime and get to that point. But if you like an action comedy anime, or if you want to see more work from the person who created One Punch Man, then this will be the anime for you. So without further ado, let's start the review. So I really like this anime. Like um like I remember beginning of the season, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Mob Psycho 100 and Taboo Tattoo. Taboo Tattoo, kind of fell off my watch list because it just really didn't reel me in that much. Like it was one of the top three animes, but then um, but then it just didn't stay with me. It's like the same thing happened with Boku no Hero in spring. Like it was the number one anime, but I saw the first episode and I was like, it's not really sticking to me. But it's probably something I'll rewatch later or like finish it up. Like I'm actually finishing up Boku no Hero right now, but not to go off on a tangent with that. So, things I liked of the anime, I really liked the art style. Like that's usually not something I bring up in my anime reviews, but the art style for this anime was so different compared to anything else I had seen before. Like it's the kind of art style that just makes you laugh when they do certain scenes like in the first episode when well, actually really not just first episode, it's really whenever Reagan is doing something with his quote unquote exorcisms, because we all know Reagan is not a psychic. He has no psychic powers whatsoever. So I really liked how they made the art. I also like how they did the action scenes. The action scenes were really well done, especially once the claw arc started with Mob versus Koyama, and then probably the best action scene with Mob vs. Koyama being a very close second had to have been Reagan versus um, the remaining four scars from Claw's Seventh Division, being Ishiguro, Matsuo, Sakurai, and the other. I forgot who the other guy was, but he's the guy who could um make his body into. He could make it like clones of his body and things like that with his psychic powers. But overall, those are like the really main two things that I would say were really, really well done in the anime. Other than, of course, the comedy. The comedy was great, especially with Reagan, because Reagan is supposed to be this great psychic. Like he advertised himself as a great psychic. However, he actually has no psychic powers, as we've seen throughout the anime. Even though he does get like some form of powers to be able to see Dimple at the end of the anime. He's still It's so funny to see that he's getting money off these people doing all the exorcisms, but he doesn't have any powers. And also probably probably either tied with Reagan or a close second for funniest character would probably be Dimple, because Dimple is just like complete was like completely clashing with Mob's ideals of like, because Mob was like, I shouldn't use my psychic powers on people, and then Dimple was like, use your psychic powers on people. Like you're getting destroyed by this guy Teriki, but you're not using your psychic powers on him. And I just love how Dimple was. I think it's a gag at this point. How Dimple was able to be exorcised and then come back to the living world twice, and then he survived Matsuo's poison jar of all the spirits in there. I honestly think Dimple is just a running gag at this point I would say in the series, but there is no confirmed season two. I'm sure there's more in the manga, slash light novels slash web novels. I'm not sure what they really have for Mob Psycho. If I get time, I may read those as well. But if I'm for manga, light novel, web novel reading, I'm probably gonna just stick to ReZero whenever I decide to start that. But so expectations and hopes for the future. Well, actually, no. Before I get expectations and hopes for the future, things I didn't really like. Um, the only thing I could say I didn't really like was the pacing at the beginning. Like, like from episode one until the Teruki fight, because it seems like everything was kind of slow. It was like, oh, he's doing one. He's just fighting evil spirits and nothing's really happening, and it's like there's no other ESPers because Reagan is a fraud. His brother wants to be an ESPer, but his brother isn't one. Yeah, and he has to live with that. But then we meet Teruki, who's also an ESPer, and he fights Mob. That's when the story really pumped up. But of course they had to have some, which I mean it kind of makes sense that they had it going kind of slow at the beginning until the fight with Teruki, and then they had a bunch of then they had all the other ESPers from Claw come out. But that's really the only thing I didn't like. I enjoyed watching every episode of this anime. It didn't have a dark scene that I mean not dark scene, dark episode that most animes have around like episode 8 or 9, which was interesting. They had some moments like they had one of the twin brothers from the Awakening Lab. How one of the twin brothers got like stabbed and almost killed. They had that, but other than things like that, weren't any scenes that there weren't any dark scenes, and dark scenes always set up the anime for it to have like a whole turnaround. But that's really all things that didn't like. They're pretty minor because the anime did have really good it was really good for the most part. So for the future, I know they have another some continuation of the story somewhere in the form of a manga, light novel, web novel, one of the three or multiple of the three. But for this, wow, losing my thoughts here. But I'm hoping that they will make a season two for Mob Psycho 100. I feel like it was a success in its first season, and it's definitely a really liked anime. It is really enjoyed by pretty much everyone. That by pretty much everyone who watched it. Haven't really seen anything bad go towards it. So I'm hoping that they have a season two. Possibly, if I get time, I'll read into the manga and such. But to end off the review, I'm going to give Mob Psycho 100 a 9.5 out of 10 due to it being really great and the bad pacing at the start. That's why it's really gonna be 9.5 and not a straight 10. But if it had slightly better pacing at the beginning, so because that kind of pacing, I feel like it could turn off a person. But I think the psychic powers and everything kept me towards there, and for the entire time I'm just like, Mob can't just be the only person with psychic powers. There has to be more. And then Teriki came, and it was like, oh man, it's time to finally see someone fight Mob. But anyways, that's gonna be it for my review of Mob Psycho 100. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you all next time.